and Wang playing each other. They're getting ready here. They've got their playmats all good to go. They're just getting the little bits and pieces ready. But I think, the Trunks card is hype, but this game will be even hyper today. So this is going to be very exciting to see. And hopefully, best of luck to both the players today. Hopefully, they can just bring the energy as well. And, hopefully they just, play to their best potential and hopefully win for a fantastic semi-final game.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully, we get 3 games. That's always what you want to see when you cast these kind of games. You just want to see them push each other to the limits and fight it down to the very last 5K, which we've seen all tournaments so far. So I would not be surprised if we do go to a game 3 again today.
Of course, I think that's like one of the lucky things we've honestly got to see at
Mm.
this World Championship. Like normally at certain events, it's like okay, there's like even if you make it to top couple in a certain events, like all right, you kind of know who's gonna win, right? It's kind of the vibe you get. But at this event, everyone is just such amazing players. They're just forcing like there's no free wins at Worlds. You have to play
Mm.
at your absolute best every game. There's no easy way out. If you want to win, you just to put it simply, you just have to be better. That's all it is. The best player will come out victorious at this event today, and we'll be seeing our world champion, not crowned today, but tomorrow. So yeah, enough
Sure.
enough about hyping that up. Let's see this game here. So Stun looks like Juan's gone first. He's got his just tie out and started warping. Again, we have
Ooh.
seen this matchup once before in this tournament, right? We kind of know how it plays out. I think it is a little bit favored for Gogeta Xeno once it can get
Mm.
rolling. But then that being said, Wang can easily just put put stop to the aggression. Right, he's got so many different floodgates, and we're gonna have to see how he's gonna stop the aggression from this Gogeta Xeno.
Yeah, for sure. And we see that Juan here didn't actually get to warp any of the cards he really needed in there. It looked like all Gogetas. He did get the Trunks to hand, which is always good to see early on. But it seems like a very, very slow turn 1 from him so far. So I have to see what kind of playstyle he has as well. So there is kind of an aggro version of this deck and more of a mid-range, slower version of Gogeta Zeno as well. So not having seen how he plays the deck, it'd be interesting to see what kind of style he goes for today.
For sure as well. And this is something quite different that we haven't seen from Wang at all this tournament. Actually, he's
Mm.
choosing to not play the one drop Broly turn 1. He's opted to play this Paragus instead. This is actually the first deviation from his like main line of play throughout the whole event here. We had the opportunity to cast 2 of his 3 games the previous week, and he's never once opened this Paragus. It's always been the Broly one drop. I think he's just like I think it's just click that you don't really need to take 2 life in this matchup. Like Gogeta will give you the life. You don't need to risk taking additional damage for no reason. And if worse does comes
Mm.
the worst, you have plenty of ways to take your own life anyway. Like you have the Bardock Unison, you have the Broly one drop. There's so many things in combination. Here it is, the first 18 super combo.
Straight into them. Does not want to waste any time and just starts building up his drop for that sparking 7 and just starting the ripping apart of the hand of Juan.
Yeah, exactly. And like again, we've seen this exact plan. This 18 super combo is such high value in this deck because all you really care about doing in this deck is just kind of trading card for card, and 18 is kind of like a 2 card thing. If you want to outcome with the attack, go for it. And then on top of that as well, you have to bottom deck a card from your hand. It's just very high value in this deck because you don't particularly care about holding your super combos. Your leader will draw you all the cards you need. So you kind of just
Mm.
want to use everything you get as soon as it hits your hand. You just want to see it and just get it out of here as well. And here it is. He's someone thwarting, warp the Paragus, gives him the opportunity to untap an energy, which is quite
Mm.
nice. And now, do we see turn 1 Primal Carnage get rid of the thwarting? Probably not, right?
I know chat would love that, but probably not. That would not be the smart play. But it is interesting to see that one did have to get rid of a super combo to be able to play this thwarting. It isn't the what you'd like to see from him, but it is probably still the correct play just to apply this early pressure. He's probably not going to get down to 4 life himself very quickly, so he feels that applying the pressure earlier on is more beneficial than just holding the super combo for potential later on use.
Yeah, I'm bound to agree with that. I think it's quite awkward here is that now this is a very weird position for Wang to be in. Another 18 super combo, quite nice, out comboing
Mm.
the true fighting spirit. And the reason why I'm saying it's a bit awkward is that the really crazy thing about this Broly, once you get to the awakened side, you just have access to such easy board clear. You sack one of your battle cards and you get to KO one of your opponents, right? Obviously that's just such a high value play. But now he doesn't have anything on board. His Parax got cleared immediately, and he's sitting on 6 life. If he is to play the Broly 1-drop, I do believe when you play the 1-drop, you are forced to take 2 life when you do play it.
Yep.
And then when it gets cleared, you have to choose either 1 or 2 life to have the option to play the
Yep.
Broly. So when you do play this 1-drop, you kind of inflict at a minimum 3 damage to yourself. And at this point in the game, that is half your life. I don't feel like you want to do that. I feel like he's gonna let Juan kind of just deal the additional damage to him. I don't think there's any real point kind of giving your opponent more free damage to you. You'd much rather just like lay a bit back for this following turn. Yes, it does suck that unfortunately, well, you don't get to have easy border clear this turn, which it is sucks. It does suck. It is quite unfortunate, but it's kind of the position he's put himself in from not playing the Broly turn 1.
He probably feels that even though unless he is going to play it now, I don't think he will. I think he will probably just be playing the. He is playing it. So he probably
Yeah.
does feel that he needs to clear it, because if he does not clear it, he's probably going to be taking 2 damage from it anyway. So he might as well take the initiative and at least clear it this turn and not let Juan's board build up too far out and get to a position where he just can't remove it any effectively anymore. So I do like this play. He now allows him to awaken. Probably swing in with the Broly. You don't really care if it gets popped anymore. You got so many cards in hand, and he probably just wants to combo away a lot of his hand just to get the sparking going and to be able to swing with leader and draw back up into some more useful cards.
Yeah, I'm agree with that. You get a free swing with this 1-drop Broly into the 1-drop Goku, right? Potentially this could be a 2-for-1 trade. He did use this leader skill on the backside too, had the Paragus 1-drop that lets him carry this Broly and draw a card to his hand. Could potentially see that as well. Have to see what he decides to go for. Here he is thinking about it. He
So there is
is
another. He could also try and swing into the thwarting itself, because if he wants to combo out, if he wants to get the sparking 7 anyway, he's already going to comboing 5 cards minimum. So he might as well put that attack into something which could be useful. So we'll have to see where he does decide to go. He does decide to go for leader, which is an interesting choice. Just trying to put some pressure on. And here comes down the Bardock Unison.
There it is. I'm quite interested to see here. Will he use the Bardock to carry his own 1-drop Broly? It looks like he is. He is forced to take a life here, getting the Kai to the drop area.
See if he has the 4-drop. It'll be huge. Yep, the 4-drop is huge here.
There it
Just
is,
allow him to be
applying.
able to 15k crit or 20k crit. Sorry, is a pretty big swing right now for. Juan is on 5 life. Super combo is still not turned on, so will need to be 3 cards if he does want to out combo this, which he chooses not to and takes it.
I don't think you really mind. You get the option to awaken here. Now this is a pretty interesting position to be in if you are Wang here. You got like a lot of your defensive capabilities up. You have an option to get rid of this thwarting, which I feel like he will go for. For me, it makes there's no point not to kind of like clear this thwarting, right? Like
Yep.
you just use the leader skill, pop it. Yes, you do lose your big crit boy, but it's getting cleared next turn anyway because of thwarting, right? Thwarting's just one of the best cards in the game. Such a high value card. Every
Yep.
time it swings, just gets the warp battle card over and over again. It's insane removal. The only way it could be better if it ignored barrier. Thank God it doesn't. That'd be too
Yeah.
ridiculous. But yeah, the more it's on board, the more frightening it is. And now he's just going for a 15k swing to lead. Cool thing about this Bardock, if he does opt to out combo this attack, he's just taking it. He knows if he
Oh,
combos the card,
he.
Bardock is just going to rip the card out of hand, right? Yep,
Mm.
here it is using the Broly skill. I assume Thwarting's getting removed from the battle area. He's thinking about which one he wants. He's discarding 2 from hand. Does he have the 7-drop in his
Oh,
deck?
here's the 7-drop.
He has the 7-drop. Okay, wow. He has not done this at all. Wow, okay. I was not expecting this card to come out from him. He's playing it down here. And this is not. Well, I was not expecting this.
Mm.
Wow, he's going quite aggressive here. This Broly actually can inbuilt fuel his sparking 7 here, because this Broly has a very devastating effect. It has an active battle skill where you burst 3 cards, and then your opponent has to discard a card out of their hand. And this is such a nicely timed Kai here, by the way. This Kai was timed where he's only got 6 cards in drop, and now he's now he can't use his sparking up. Good use of
Oh.
Freezer here.
Does allow him to get another attack in and potentially combo away more, which is what he'll need to do right now.
I guess it's sent to 2 warp. Yep, there's the Paragus gone, and now he's swimming with the freezer again, like getting good value. He has to combo of, yep, 2 cards here, getting his new handout. Very nicely done. Good time freezer.
Mm.
Good kind of good lines of plays from both players here, right? And the crazy thing is this Bardock effect is still alive. You want to combo 5, yeah, that's fine. Combo 5 more, and then you can use the Bardock to remove combo power. Quite nice. Very cool to see that he has finally gotten the opportunity to play the 7-drop Broly. It was not
Mm.
seen at all in any of the previous games that he has played. He's finally got it in there, and it's just such a frightening card. Like, yes, it does burst you through. You do go through a deck fairly fast, which can be problematic in certain matchups. But hey, if you're telling me I can turn 2, get a 30k crit swing for essentially free, right? It's just
Mm.
crazy powerful. So
Yeah, definitely. So even though the card was warped, it will come back at the end of the turn and it will just sit on board. So it is going to be very. If Juan can't push through and do some damage this turn, it is going to be very tough for him next turn to hold on to all these big attacks that are coming his way. So
I
there is
also
no counter plays available to Wang at the moment, which is kind of the big thing. You know, he can't freeze his charismatic here because there is 2 cards on board. So I guess he can also can't margin boo. So that is kind of the downside of, I guess, this inherently this deck. But he does just have the dormant, which will most likely just mean that Wayne gets to survive this turn.
Yeah, exactly. And oh, he's actually discarded his Primal Carnage to
Oh,
resolve that Dormant. He must really like the rest of the cards in his hand, right? That's crazy to
mm,
give up one of your best cards. That has like won you so many games in the tournament just to resolve Dormant potential. I'm very curious to see what his other cards are in hand. But yeah. Now the cool thing about this too is that yes, as you were saying, you can't actually counterplay the Thwarting the Dark Empire if it were to come out because of the fact that hey, you only have the option to have 2 battle cards in play, and that's already been met. But like, yeah, I'm still just shook that he actually opted to get rid of his SCR like that. And now here's the burst 3 from Broly, forcing his opponent to discard. And
mm.
that's just yeah, I'm still just shocked about Primal Carnage just gone. It's like one of the cards that has made a biggest showcase in the tournament. From Wang specifically, right? He's used that card to such fantastic effect. So many players have feared that card, and now it's not a problem for one. It's out of here. It's in his drop. This is gone.
Yeah, I guess just the knowledge of knowing that he can't have it is kind of a huge mental thing as well. Just if he has the energy up and you just know that he can't, like, I don't want to say cheese you, but just use the card against you in that scenario to take the win when he was looking down. So it's an interesting choice. Yeah, he must either think that he needs every other card in his hand, or that he just thought that there is a chance that one still may go in. And he needs all 5k combos that he can have to survive.
Adding thwarting back. I like this play a lot. Coming from one here, he's getting his thwarting back for his last attack for the turn, and he can just combo off this Goku as well. Yes, Bardock effect will still be live, but he knows he doesn't have to worry about this Freezer charismatic. There's 2 battle cards in play. You don't have the option to
Hmm.
just counterplay this card, and even if he does it doesn't have to combo a lot. It's just so much you have to worry about. Being able to warp something is quite powerful.
Yeah, so the 7-drop will be gone, so you no longer have to worry about that effect. If that card's stuck around for much longer, the amount of value it would be producing is insane. Being able to activate battle like burst 3 each on each person's turn to make the opponent discard a card, just pluses you so much and negs the opponent so much. So the risk is that it does, once it is removed, that you don't really have a backup plan for that. But just getting it to stick there for as long as you can is great. So he has
Actually,
that combo this attack as well.
yeah. Now
Interesting.
after he's like showcased the rest of his hand, I actually quite like the fact he did decide to get rid of Primal Carnage. Again, the thing about this Broly deck, right? You kind of just speedrun your deck, right? You kind of see every
Mm.
card you need to see. You go through your entire deck, and you're tapped out in that situation. Primal Carnage, as good as it can be, if he chose to discard another card from his hand, Primal Carnage, it's a dead card. If depending on if that turn could have gone south, he could have gotten pressured for a lot more damage than what he did. So I do think it's actually probably the optimal play to get rid of Primal Carnage. It does feel pretty bad to get rid of such a powerful card, but in this particular situation, it does kind of feel like it was the correct player.
Mm. He probably feels like it's just a dead card sitting in his hand. He doesn't really want to offensively use energy just to combo off a card, but he also wants to be able to get rid of it somehow. So then he can then draw 6 more. He doesn't feel that. He probably feels he might be trying to go for the win next turn, considering both players, one only has 5 cards left in hand and no board really to defend himself with. So maybe Wang feels he can just push through for game next turn. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, and I think the line of play that we'll probably see coming out of Wang here, he's probably going to use a Zarbon from his drop area, cycle his last card, and then pop it. Oh, he's actually just choose to pop the charismatic immediately. Does not want to revive Zarbon because the thing is that if he got his Zarbon back with that skill, then he does have the option to just simply KO the thwarting, and then because of how Zarbon works, he has to discard a card as well and could potentially combo with a Ribrianne. But it's kind of telling what's in his hand,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
His last card in hand was too valuable to want to discard. He needs it in hand. Most likely, if that is the case, probably a another dormant potential is the only card that, quite frankly, does make sense for him to hold on into hand. And he has taken it going down to 2 life. That is quite scary here. Swing with the Bardock here. Wonder if he'll decide to combo. I doubt he actually does run Champa in his deck, just because again, it's
Mm.
like oh, he's just taking it.
Oh
Juan doesn't.
wow.
Juan doesn't care. He's like, all right, you're gonna kill
Wow.
me this turn. Do it,
Yeah,
bro.
he just doesn't. He just thinks Wang has no more gas, and is just like, all right, show me what you got. Well, we're gonna chuck some cards down if you do it. So it'll be interesting to see what Wang decides to do. Whether he decides to just leave energy open or just go, okay, you're on 1 life. Every turn from now on, when I swing with my leader, what are you gonna do? I'm just gonna dump hand, and we'll see how it goes.
He's
So we'll
thinking
have
here.
to see.
He has access to so many cards from his drop area, right? He can play Zarbon, he can play Ribrianne, right? Start whittling at his hand, but the fact he's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go to 1, no worries, man. It's like, okay, well, he does not care. It's actually quite honestly, it is quite ballsy to go to 1 life in this situation. You're kind of like backed up. It must be like he must be feeling very comfortable knowing he doesn't have to worry about this Primal Carnage anymore. It's such a monster card, and not worrying about it's like makes him potentially feel comfortable willing to take these extra hits. Maybe he just knows that if he does combo cards out of his hand, the Bardock will be getting value. It's a very interesting decision that he has decided to make.
Yeah. So I guess if you're not going to, if you're only going to try and combat of one attack, it may make sense to take all of them if you don't feel like you're going to die, because you don't really want to, yeah, let that Bardock use its effect. So if you feel like you're just going to take them all anyway, what's the point of ditching 2 cards to stop one attack when what's the difference between 1 and 2 life realistically? But we'll have to see. So he is just playing the thwarting out
And he gets carried by
yeah,
Charismatic immediately.
immediately.
Doesn't even get the option to be on the board. It doesn't get to exist. And that's just 1 card, 5 in hand now from Wang, and now Juan's starting to lose value. And it's just crazy that it's 1 life already. The 1 to 3,
Mm.
it's getting close.
This is definitely playing out completely different from the last time we saw this matchup. The last time we saw this matchup, it was very slow and grindy, where we got to turn 5, where each player still had multiple life left. So it's much more of an aggressive game this time.
And here is the thwarting now. Even if he does resolve a uh, dormant potential, he'll probably be going down to 1 life here, immediately swinging with it. Does he have
Mm.
a negate of sorts? There it is. He has the
Oh.
Booper in hand. Okay. So he's definitely very fine here. This potentially could have been the card he was holding on from his previous
Mm.
turn, right? The 1 card in hand. Because this, again, in this situation, we've already done a massive chunk to the opposing player's hand. This is kind of saying, it's like, well, by the way, you don't really get another turn. Double Ribrand and drop
Mm.
means he can potentially force him to discard 4 cards from hand, maybe pair it with an Overwhelm. There's a lot going on for Wang here. He's in a very comfortable position now. Like it's, again, taking these additional hits, going to 1 life. It's like, okay, at the moment, yes, it can be a bit defensive, but if you don't have the cards in hand to close out the game, you just put yourself in a very losing position, quite honestly, and it can be a
Mm.
very, very uphill from here now. Gogeta
Interesting.
swinging the
Swinging
lead,
with a
has
leader.
to discard 2 cards. I feel like he understands that he is not getting another turn. I feel like this is making
Mm.
Wang's life a bit easier. All he essentially needs is like maybe another negate or some more cards in hand. Or
Ooh.
maybe he
Ooh.
honestly thinks like, again, the amount of cards in Wang's
Oh
hand. And
wow.
Juan probably thinks that he can potentially push through. It's not the end of the world, right? If he could,
Possibly
I
looking
get
for a champer. So swinging with leader, probably trying to get a champer. For the next swing, I would assume the only issue is that the Bardock effect still has not been used at all this turn. So you'd have to think any first card that is comboed is just going to get removed. And Wang is probably just now that he's out comboed that leader attack, how much more gas does one really have, and how much can he really pressures can he put on?
and he's just forced the pass. He knows that if he does go for an additional swing, he can't close out the game. He's just got to get double Ribriand and closed out from here. I think it is kind of just looking like curtains, right? If you do resolve this double
Mm,
Ribriand, you're going to be chilling. I believe 1 card in hand. I think that it's if I'm Wang, I feel like it's a no-brainer to just resolve both Ribriand skills here. Go to 1, swing with leader,
mm.
and just challenges. Like you do anything? Probably not, right?
Yeah,
Immediately
exactly.
getting rid of thwarting immediately. Will he use Ribriand? He's paying 1 for a Paragus. And this is another really good option because Paragus, you just pop it immediately. It doesn't actually matter if you hit the card or not. He misses. He probably opted not to add a Broly to hand. There's better cards to draw. You just pop it with Bardock. That's one more card down from hand. Fun fact. Then you just double around, and this is where he just loses his hand here, and all it takes is the bleeder swing, and that can be the game.
Yeah, he can literally double rear now, but taking out his 0 cards in hand, it's just GG. There's not literally nothing
It
you
is
can do.
GG. Wang looking to take this first game here.
It's looking more like Cell Surge right now.
No. He actually attacked this game, so it's not quite like Cell
true.
Surge. There's the
And there's
first
the second
Rebrand,
one,
and there is
and
the
that'll be it.
second. And yeah, he's just scooped
One just
immediately.
scoops. Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. One life again. He was taking those hits before because he felt like, hey, I can maybe look for game. But then that Booper is like saying, well, no, you can't go for game here,
Yeah.
right? Like, damn, that was honestly such a one-sided game from Wang there. I feel like Juan didn't really have any opportunity to kind of play his deck. He even had the option. He even did get to go first, and just felt like it was well, nothing he can do about it. So damn, very honestly, like this is a statement game for Wang here, right? He's just like he's showcasing why that in his region he is the GOAT. He has literally won everything there is to win in his region. He's the best by far. So it's like, well, okay, he's just showing the rest of the world what's up with his specifically Broly deck. Like, and it doesn't feel like a lot of players are really prepared for it, and it just shows that Juan didn't really like have a lot of things he can do. I do respect the play where he kind of like analyzed the situation. Can you win on the following turn? The answer was no, but probably not. I'll get Ribrianne. So you're kind of forced to go through trying to swing through these attacks, but then it's just like, well, if you're not willing to commit to combo over and go through that Bardock unison skill, right? It's like, well, it doesn't actually matter what you're doing. It's kind of like you're waiting for the inevitable. So, and lo and behold, he like half committed to go through the the Boopo ability. He swung, discarded 2, and didn't combo on the leader swing. And then he just simply got outcomboed by 1 card, and then he was just in range to get his hand discarded to 0. So yeah, honestly, fantastic stuff from Wang. Like he changed his strategy for this Gogeta Xeno matchup. He's like, okay, Gogeta Xeno has the luxury of just funneling me cards into my hand in the early game, right? Like I don't really have to worry about like playing my 1-drop. And then what happened? He's like, hey, by the way, this is my time. He just showed off why he's just one of the best, and it was really nice to see that. This anti-meta deck is just showcasing like why it's good. Again, it doesn't even one of the points we were talking about, Primal Carnage was such a valuable card last week, and he just opted to discard it because he knew it's like, if I hold on to Primal Carnage, I'm probably going to not be able to survive the following 2 turns.
Yeah, I think the biggest tell for how well he knows his deck and how well he knows the matchups are the fact that he said, I don't need this card. I need a way to remove it because it's just never going to be useful the way this game is going. I'm never going to play it, and I'm never going to really need to kill any of his cards with it. And so he just opted to remove it. And I think that shows some of the highest level plays you can do with this deck, and the amount of sequencing decisions, the amount of like slight adjustments you can make to then get to that next level with the deck. So that was great to see. So I have to see if he can continue it on and pull out the 2-0, the first 2-0 for himself.
Yeah, I know there's been a couple of 2-0s, but throughout the tournament, but we haven't had the opportunity to cast one yet, so gonna have to see.
So in terms of side decking, I'm not sure if there is what one could bring in specifically for this matchup. I think that his biggest issue was just being a little bit too scared of the Bardock unison, and at the same time not really removing it. If he was going to try and play this more slow place controlled game, he should have been swinging into that unison more and kind of just ignoring the Broly leader until he could remove that and then just start going for game. And I think the biggest thing was that last turn, he probably realized that he's losing no matter what. His only out is getting that Champa from deck. And then when he didn't see that, he just said, I'll just try and survive next turn with what I've got. And unfortunately, Wayne just had enough hand destruction to just make it a non-effort from his part.
Yeah, exactly. Like for Wang, like all he needs to ask is like how many cards in hand, right? Is it 0? Well, okay, I'll close it out from here. And anytime his opponent asks him, he doesn't even have to think about it. It's always just 6, right? So there'll always be. Eventually, it'll get to the point of the game where Broly will just simply have more cards than you, and there's not really too much any deck can do about that. As kind of just like how things will be, how it will play out. over the course of the game. Like Broly, all Wang needs to do is go card for card the entire game. I'm trading my one card for your one card. That's great, amazing, and just do that over the course of the entire game, right? And eventually it will be the outcome where, all right, you have 0 cards, you have not enough cards in hand to survive my Rubrians from drop, my hand destruction, my hand, heck, even my Broly 7 drop with crit, burst 3, sorry, make you discard one. And he's just killing it. Like, it's just really nice to see that something that a lot of players weren't expecting to be a thing is just popping off. And yeah, if it keeps up this way, Wayne could be walking home in a spot in the finals of the first Worlds for Dragon Ball.
Guaranteed top 2. Yeah, that'd be great if you could kind of secure that for yourself right now.
Yeah, if you secure that for yourself, it does look pretty good on the resume. Not gonna lie, being a world champion in any game that you're a part of will be amazing. So we'll have to see what he decides to do.
Charging the thwarting though, not really what you want to see. You kind of want to play one of those every turn if you can. So Juan's
And
hand
here,
must not be looking the best. He does play the unison just to look for a ball. He probably won't have any, so he'll just be doing this. Just look through his deck, trying to understand where some of the key cards are, whether they're in life or whether they're in his deck. Generally, you check for things like SERs, amount of super combos, and the amount of key cards in your deck left. And then he'll just use that to draw a card. So I think it's a good turn one play. You can't attack anyway, so you might as well just use the energy for something. So either playing out Marvelous Might or playing out the Unison, I think is a good turn one play from that deck.
yeah, I think it's actually a very heads up play. So the big thing, like we are saying, like eventually you actually run out of cards against this Broly, right? But one of the cool plays that you actually do have access to in this Gogeta Xeno deck is recycling this Black Smoke Dragon Unison. Yes, the Unison got errated, so the active main ability to just by default gain a marker only works if you're a Dark Demon race leader, aka the Mechikabura Wish leader, which it was designed for. But then you can still use the Kai, put the Kai at the bottom of your deck and play this Black Smoke from Warp and straight up just draw a +1. Honestly, kind of like the Trunks SR we were showcasing before, right? The God Trunks. Kind of a similar effect where it's just free value and you're actually just getting a card expressed to your hand, and it's just quite a nice interaction that the deck has available to it. It might be one of these things that if he's able to loop enough Kais, he will just able to combat this hand destruction. But I think really nice from Wang just to straight up pass, right? I know it's a very basic turn what he just did. Turn 1, play my Paragus, add the 7 pass. It's denying cards from Juan here. Like, you're going first. You didn't get to overwhelm a Gogeta. Yes, you did get to play your Black Smoke, but you play that from your hand, right? So you're kind of just trading one for one card, yeah. And you're not getting additional cards you could be getting if you're receiving hits. He just knows already that it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, very smart play to not swing for no reason. He gets no benefit from swinging, and all the benefit is on Juan. You want him to take his own life down, and then at the right moment, Wang will go, okay, now's the time to start going in. I can put the pressure on, and is just making even just the simplest decisions, just making the correct ones from turn 1.
Here
You
it
see
is.
thwarting coming down.
He's thinking about it. He knows that, like, if he swings here, he's letting his opponent awaken. So it's very interesting. I like this from Hunt. It's not even a bad, as weird as it is. It's not actually that bad of a decision to pass here. You're kind of forcing. Now it's like, all right, Wang, do you have the option to self awaken? If he does, it's actually very detrimental to Juan here. Kind of means he just wasted a turn not really doing much, and Wang can easily play the Broly and pop it to take 4 life if he does have the 1-drop Broly plus the Paragus in hand. But if he doesn't, I think this is a fantastic decision not to attack it. Like, you're forcing him to start pinging his own life instead of you being able to go over the top and just push through for damage. So I think this is a very heads up play, and even Wang's like a bit hesitant about what he wants to do now. You can kind of tell from looking at his hand. And now that he's got this thwarting on board, it's got to stick if he's not able to awaken, right? Like, the only way you can stop it beforehand is by dropping Charismatic Villain Freezer. But I think that's really nice. It's a good decision to just be a bit more of a pacifist in this Gogeta Xeno deck. Just you don't have to always have your foot on the gas, right? You can kind of like tone back a little bit, relax, kind of analyze the situation. And yep, here it is. Here's the Broly. The big thing is the Paragus coming out as well in combination with it. If it's not, I feel like this is not the greatest option for Wang here. He is swinging with it. Will he? Probably not going to combo anything. Just getting the cheeky poke here, taking the life. And yep, this is telling he doesn't have it in hand. If he's deciding to attack here with the Broly on this side, he doesn't have the Paragus in hand. This can be pretty scary now. Yep, and he's just past turn. He's just passed with the Broly. He knows he's getting cleared. I think that,
Yeah, it's a
honestly,
very, very rough turn for Wang. Yeah, like you said, he just literally has nothing. I think the decision to not attack there probably just put him way ahead in this matchup.
it's such a heads up play to do, right? It takes like you can tell these players are good. Sometimes because in Dragon Ball, right, you get just value from attacking. You just want to put
Mm,
your card sideways. You just swing, draw a card, fantastic. But like, and even if this thwarting the Dark Empire, if you swing, you just go and just push through for damage normally. That's what you want to do, but not attacking. Kind of saying, hey, you have to awaken yourself, right? I'm not letting you get the value that you want from me. You have to play this long game like I'm planning to play it out, right? And now he's in
mm.
this position. This Broly, it will force him to take another life. When it's removed, yes, you get to play the 4-drop, but does that matter? No, heck. The thing that you can say is, well, with this Gogeta, he doesn't actually have to remove the Broly. He can just
No, he
simply
does
leave
not.
it
Yeah.
he can just simply leave it on board, which I think is the big brain play, right? If he just goes, all right, thwarting in the lead, you probably have to take that 2 damage. You probably don't have the cards at this point in the game to out combo it, right? Oh, he did combo a ton of cards there. that being said, but like
Mm.
if you deliberately leave this Broly on board, right? Wang has to clear it himself. Like if you can get Wang to a position where before this Broly's still on board when he's at 3 life, right? Then it's like, all right, when it gets removed again, you have to take the 1 or 2 life.
Yeah,
That's just crazy.
exactly. So it's gonna be a very interesting. I think it was kind of almost like a mind games kind of play where it's like I know that you're expecting me to take the life from you, so you're playing in a way where you're optimizing your lines of play for me giving you your cards to the life. So instead of doing the normal play, even though it may not look good, it is actually correct to then call out your opponent to say, okay, well, do you still have that option that you would normally have, but I'm not giving it to you. So I think this is what you would call the highest level of gameplay right here. Just going past the intended play styles of the cards and just almost forming a little meta game within the game of how you want to play this.
I think it's huge now too. He got the trunks from his overarm there. He can send that black
Mm,
smoke to warp. Here comes the trunks. And again, you see the
mm,
cards in his drop area. He's swinging just more and more poking, more and more poking. Put him in this really awkward situation, getting the Kai up, getting black smoke out as well. Get to draw another card. This is like something that he didn't have the chance to do. He was in a much more awkward position. Now, like honestly, huge props to Juan. Even though like, it looks like he's just choosing to do nothing, right? But it's actually
mm.
the correct play. It is not.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's so smart just to be like, all right, we're gonna chill. We're gonna take it back for a second. Broly wants me to hit him. He wants to get cards, and I'm just like, forcing him to like do the damage to himself, like helping him win the game by just throwing this game like kind of off rhythm, right? I think this is the first time the whole tournament where Wang has not awakened when he's on 2 energy. He's chose to get rid of it now. Will he choose to take the 2? He is looking that way. He's chosen to take the 1. And that means he's most likely going to go down the 3 life here, playing the 4-drop here. And now it's like, okay, he's going to be pressured to 3 life here. He's already gone through 1 super combo. Does he have the second? That is the question. He's taking it. He's on 3 life. Very nice. And the thing is that is crazy as well. This turn is not over yet. This turn is just begun. Like
Mm,
Gogeta hasn't awakened yet. He has all these fusion pieces at his disposal. It's still the only thing he's done this turn
mm,
is just play his trunks over him and resolve the Black Smoke Dragon. It is just going to be ridiculous here. This situation is just so weird. Like it's not what I was expecting going to turn 2. And okay, all right, we have to turn it back. It just simply looks like Juan has actually passed his turn. All right, well, maybe we got too excited. All
you got
right,
a little
we'll
bit
just
excited there. That's all
a
right.
little
That's
bit
all right.
excited, I
I
know.
was also expecting the swing, the pay 1 to bring out the 1 drops, but I don't. He can't awaken this turn, so I would assume that yeah, it's probably he might as well wait one more turn. Next turn he can guarantee to awaken and go from there probably.
Yeah, look, all right. He did use dormant. That is true. We were a bit too excited there. We got too caught up with how amazing that play was from Juan, right? To like calculate, like go the calculated approach to deal as much optimal damage. All right, we missed the little dormant there, but still, I think it was still amazing from Juan, right? Wang's probably just thinking it's like this is really awkward for him because one of the biggest problems with the fundamental part of this Broly deck, how many cards are in his drop area? Not that many. You're looking at that. There's not that many cards in his drop area. This Black Smoke Dragon
Mm,
as well actually is the secret weapon that will potentially push Juan over the edge here. Because you know what else it does when you use the -1 skill? It sends a battle card from your opponent's drop area to the warp. You are
mm,
denying this Broly leader sparking 7. being the fact he's resolved it twice, it's set him back a lot. Like only 2 cards in
Yeah.
drop, and he's not awakening at 3 life. Okay, you have to waste your hand now. Power burst here, denying anything. I think this is crazy from Juan. He's adapted so magnificently from this first game, right? This is like night and day. It's like previous game was going to like Wang's complete temper, right? But now Juan's like, hey, I'm here to play as well, right? You have to kind of do things at my pace this time
Ooh.
around. It's my turn to be in the spotlight.
Phase 3 for the Unison, probably realizing that he doesn't really have any use for that 1 extra energy, so could expect probably a Dormant to come out. Put in the Unison underneath. I don't see him down ticking, but he could potentially do it now. He does down tick. Is that a 1 or a 5? I can't tell.
Bit hard to tell, but I believe, yep, he has decided to down tick. Okay, something different.
Interesting.
He's about to kind of go off. Okay, I think he's realized that he's not in the greatest of spots. I think Wang's gonna try and do something a little bit different this time around. Curious to see what he's swinging into. Again, we can't really hear what they're saying. Going into lead. Okay, you might be trying to push for game here. Second attack straight away. Because the thing is as well is like, I
I'm not
feel like
sure really what other attacks he has though. Like he needs to combo 5 cards away to even get Sparking 7 for this leader effect. So it's pretty much all of his hand going. Unless he does run some form of like overroam in the deck. I don't think we've seen any yet.
I
I
think
can't quite
I
remember.
think Wang has realized the situation that he's been put in, right? The fact that sparking isn't available, he has to kind of go at a really weird pace. And the thing is that as
Mm.
well, even though I think it is an interesting play that he did decide to opt to play the Unison instead, like go on put a card under it and down tick, right? The thing that's awkward about it, it's kind of like 2 cards from his hand that he's not getting into his drop area right now. Even with this
Mm.
even coming with this 18, I don't think he's actually going to be able to fulfill the sparking 7 requirement this turn. That is the second attack from the Bardock, right? But it just doesn't feel like he's going to be able to get 4 more cards in, unless hard to say from his hand. He's just taken. I feel like Juan knows this as well. He's like this time he knows he's chill in this game. He can take these additional hits. You just see the hand diff. It's massive, and he's comboing again another swing, another 18 super combo, 4 cards in hand. Needs to get 3 more to drop. I think that. Oh, another 18 super
All
combo.
the
Are
super
you
combos coming
serious,
out.
Wang? He is not going off this game quietly. He is not happy. He's covering a lot of things here. He needs to get the spot. This
He
will
needs to get
be
1 more on drop, I'm pretty
one
sure. He
more
only
in drop
has.
area. One more in drop area for Sparking 7 with 1 card left in hand. Will he be able to do it? If that is
Unless
a
he
dormant.
plans to use Leader's ability. I don't think he's used Leader ability this turn.
He
So he
hasn't actually.
may.
That's a very fantastic point
Yeah,
you
he
raised. That
probably
will be the
pop the
7th
4
card.
drop. Yeah, so
That'll
probably
be the
pop the 4 drop, play nothing, and then just go, yep, Sparking 7, and they can swing and get a full hand.
Honestly,
I feel like
this
the
is.
only issue is that Juan has like 12 cards in hand, and I don't think he is any danger of losing this turn. He's just chilling. Like he doesn't really mind. Wang's gonna draw up to 6 cards. Juan may even just go down to 1 life again. I don't think there's any Champa in Wang's deck, so it'd be interesting to see what Juan can do next turn. Even Dormant isn't too much of an issue because you can still get the 2 attacks through. He needs to have a Dormant and then a hard negate for the second attack, but we'll have to see. It is sort of RNG based as well because he only kept 1 card in hand and drew a fresh 5. So he can't even choose what he has in hand really. It's just does he get what he needs?
Honestly, it's a huge sigh of relief for Wang as well, being able to, like, in this situation where his hand has been pinched, where his draw options have been limited, to see 3 of his 4 super combos, right, in a desperate situation. That could potentially be the thing that he needs to get him enough time to survive through to the following turn, right? Like, it's just crazy that he was able to see all 3 in this situation, and now he's kind of, like, been able to he's actually going for game here. He has dropped the Bardock. He is
Oh
no
wow.
hesitation here. I think this is like, if you're Juan here, if you can survive this, you're chilling. You're hard chilling, right? He can't draw anymore, and he's gone. He's going to outcome with this attack.
Oh, he has so many cards in hand. I don't know how he just doesn't survive this. Like I understand Wang probably feels like that he just has no other options, but I just don't see that this is a good option either, to be honest.
And yeah, the Bardock did pop the super combo there, but now he's got no cards in his drop area. That means he's literally out of draw options. He's not gonna be able to get Sparking 7 again. And if Juan really wanted to, he can just go for a slow, calculated approach for the rest of this game. Like he will out card Wang for the rest of the game, and this is going to be the biggest uphill battle of Wang's life. He's up just kind of get it instantly. Choose nothing, no point, right? Because this Bardock's going back to warp. Don't give him the option to play it back out with Kai, and it's gone. This is just detriment. This is just horrible for Wang. He's in a situation, no drop area, literally 5 cards in hand. His leader's not drawing in any cards. You don't have the resources to actually hit Sparking 7 this game. It's just ridiculous. The only way is like, okay, maybe this, if you get rid of the unison, right, go down to 2, sure, whatever. But this is crazy.
Dormant,
there is the dormant.
I can see one line of play which will save Wang, but it does involve one forgetting that Monkey exists and getting Monkey again. So having one energy open, that is always a threat. If he goes in, if Wang takes this, goes down to 2, one plays a thwarting, it goes for game on it, we could see the return of the Monkey.
The Monkey coming in huge today. I feel like he really needs it, but he's just again going to unison. I think that's fine as well. Getting 2 more cards in the drop. He actually does have the option for Sparking 7 now. He will have that line of play available to him. The Dormant cannot carry the Kai, by the way, because Kai is actually a 3-drop battle card at basis only. If it's played with this counter skill, it's 1 from your hand, 3 on the board, so you don't have to worry about too much. I do know that one, guys. All right, that's why Dormant didn't work there. But I think it's just now Wang might have some breathing room. The fact that this Bardock did have 2 cards under it does give him the opportunity to kind of get his footing back in this game. He's going up to 25 here. He has no more attacks of the turn here, but put him in on 2. I wouldn't be surprised if he does actually opt out, out-combo this attack. No need to. He's just out-combo there. Can't attack anymore. He is going to... Looks like he's got an overwhelm here. Probably draw some more cards. Maybe resolve another Black Smoke Dragon. Get some more battle cards into the warp. Here is the Trunks. He did combo for Kai before, and we already know Black Smoke has been going back and forth between the drop and the warp. Yep, here it is. Black Smoke right here. Force him to put another card in the drop. And this Black Smoke Dragon, honestly... such an obnoxious card in this matchup. Constantly chipping a bit more away at the drop area, right? Constantly forcing to warp cards in there. There's a Ribrianne. Don't worry about that.
3 cards in drop as well. Can't even get to Sparking if he wanted to next turn.
And now
he
4
could
in
actually.
hand.
Sorry. Yeah, but he'd have to play something and then swing with that to be able to then combo everything away. So he'd have to not charge, pay another unison, play a 1-drop. Swing with a dump hand to then just swing with leader just to draw 6 more. It's a very dicey situation for Wang right now.
And now, what will he decide to do? He's just in a horrible spot. This is honestly the only way to describe the situation. It feels so bad. You just see Juan just flex his hand, right? He's got a whole essay in there, right? Like, what? It's actually for once a cards in hand diff. This Bardock overrun on the previous turn, maybe a bit ambitious, but again, that being said, Wang did win the first game, right? He can kind of be a little greedy in the second game, right? He's got that third game to fall back on where he will finally have the opportunity to go first. But that being said, it's just I feel like if I'm Wang, I'm sweating a little bit. Juan has adapted just magnificently. He's changed his whole entire game plan to destroy the Broly hand, to destroy the Broly drop area, which is not normally what you'd expect to see from this Gogeta Xeno deck. But the thing is that, right, that's kind of what aggression is to an extent. When you go so aggressive, you have to have the cards in hand to defend all these attacks. And that's kind of the situation that Juan's put Wang in. And it's just crazy how it's going. No Sparking, no cards in hand. What is he? He's tapping to for another unison here, but this doesn't get him cards in the drop, unfortunately. He's got to swing
He does have 4 left in hand, though, so if he swings here and he can combo away all his whole hand, which he can
he has to combo away his whole hand.
He did have the Monkey. Interesting.
He did, but he had to, dude. He knows that this hand is not going to cut it. He needs 6 brand new cards.
He does have to tap out to do this as well, which is kind of concerning for him.
He needs to
RNG the Dormant off the top of his deck.
He has just destroyed him with the Kai SCR. You cannot attack with the leader. You just destroyed your own hand. That is an SCR diff if I have ever seen it in my goddamn life. That was ridiculous. Talk about drawing cards. You need to attack with your leader. Swing with your unison for all I care. Combo your entire hand. Good luck swing with your leader. My Kai negate going off, showing why Kai is still relevant. People are all bandwagoning on Pan. Kai is here to show up. This Broly can't swing. That is 0 cards in hand. That Kai was ridiculous. That was such a sick Kai drop. That was insane. Holy moly. We have a series, guys. We are going to game 3. All
Absolutely
the way,
insane.
the distance. This is the final game of the semi-final. This is pretty hype, my dude. This is pretty hype.
Yeah, for sure. The monkey got monkeyed pretty much in that instance. What you'd call for the Kai. I honestly did not expect that myself. You kind of forget that card has that effect sometimes. Generally, it's just used to clear the board. But yeah, huge game-winning play right there. We'll have to see any adjustments Wayne can make going first. So this is the first game of him going first. So we'll have to
That
see
was
whether or not he chooses to play the one drop Broly or whether or not he chooses to play the Paragus again.
that was crazy. That was sick.
That was
That was
insane.
just sick.
We've actually gotten so many picture moments, so many giftable moments from this tournament already, and there's still many more games to come, which is so insane.
I just can't believe that. I actually just can't believe that we saw that, right? Like this strategy from Juan going into game two. All right, we're gonna limit your drop area. Okay, we're gonna limit your options, right? He was in this situation where it's like, all right, if you actually want to be able to draw cards, you have to swing. You have to play something else. You have to swing with that, right? That's what you have
Mm.
to do. And sitting on that Kai in hand, that simple ability. When you play this card, your opponent can't attack with unisons or battle cards, or
Mm.
unisons or leader cards for the turn. Sorry. Well, Broly, no cards in hand, has to attack to replenish that hand. It was just like beautiful. Like Juan set up this trap from the start of the game, right? Simple decisions like not swinging with thwarting the Dark Empire turn two to kind of turn it back. And like that was just crazy. He just what a beautiful play, and honestly, I'm so excited for this game three. It'll be the first game
Hmm.
that Wang gets to go first. I think if I'm Wang, I'm a little bit shook after that loss. That was just like
Mm.
I think game one was the Wang show, right? He showed off his stuff. He showed the full power of this Broly deck, destroying his hand from turn two, literally getting down to zero. And then just game two, going to Juan. Juan got the download on this Broly BR. He's like,
Is
okay,
that
cool.
is that commemorative photo in the energy right there? Oh my god,
Oh
my
my
man!
god,
Game three in the semifinals chooses to have commemorative photo cited in and then charges it. That
that's
is
hilarious.
that's insane. I'm so confused.
That
I
is the
respect it though. I
biggest
respect it.
flex.
That
Wayne
is
knows
yeah.
he just got styled on. So how you build the confidence turn one? I will charge my
uh,
commemorative photo. That's what I'm gonna be taking at the end of the tournament with that trophy. That's what Wayne's thinking, dude. He's seeing himself two steps in the future, dude. He is ready. He is chilling this game. He could have gone for the turn one player. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I think Juan probably wouldn't take the 8 life. Just saying, potentially I don't think that's the optimal play, but hey, that is still an option. That's such a crazy turn one charge. That is so funny. This is the biggest flex from Wang. He's just chilling. He knows he's having fun while he's here. Right, it's such a high pressure situation to be in the World Semifinals, final game, potentially like the last chance you have to make it to the finals of this tournament, right? And he's just having a
Mm.
good time with it. Turn one, hey, we're chilling.
That
We're
is
playing
that is what
commemorative
Dragon Ball is
photo.
all about in the end of the day. Like we all want to do the best and we all want to win, but if we can have fun while doing it, that is pretty much the ultimate goal.
That is the
So
biggest
it's good to
flex.
see even at the highest level, people are still willing just to have a bit of fun with the game. It's great to see.
That would have been so funny. Game three,
if
commemorative photo for the dub.
if he played it,
I think it's funny that he decided to mulligan, put it into his like mulligan for it. That would
yeah,
have been so funny.
just keeping it in opening hand. Yeah, that's even citing it in the first place. Just the balls to do that. That
It
is
is
great.
pretty funny. It is very, very funny. Alrighty. Now looking forward, Black Smoke already established, getting rid of the Zarbon
Mm,
now. Cool. Again, this Black Smoke Dragon, honestly, like even though it's a very weird choice, like not a weird choice, the one of the two options you really have with this Gogeta Xeno deck, the 1-2 play from the Kai. I think that in this particular matchup, like in the game right now, there's so many card effects that have to be in the drop area to resolve, and just simply having a
mm,
card that lets you remove one for free, that's a little bit annoying. And there it is. He's already comboed it off. The Kai Trunks most likely come out in his following turn, getting the Bardock here.
mm,
And this is going to be a clinic this turn one here. I'm not going to be surprised if we see the 4-drop Broly come out. And this is going to be a really hard game for Juan here. It's the first time he's
mm.
had to play on the back foot of going second. Here's the Crit Boy coming out as well. Full steam ahead for Wang here. He knows that, you know what, this is my time. I can push. I'm going first. I get to do all my plays before I have to worry about any Gogeta Xeno, any just problematic cards. And now it's gonna be a bit of a grind.
Yeah, for sure. I think one not potentially playing the thwarting last turn was also a really good decision though, because it does force Wang to go into this line of play and actually self awaken himself. So if he didn't have the cards to do that, Wang would have been in a really good position. But Wayne did have it, and so the pressure is on now for One to see if he can survive and see how much He's willing to take and how low he's willing to go. We saw him willing to just go down to 1 life pretty freely in game 1, and it kind of cost him. So we'll have to see whether he keeps them. Yeah, he just keeps on taking them. He just doesn't care right now.
I think he understands that there's no point like overcommitting. I think the
Mm,
big thing here now is that he will have the option to go for a potentially 2 thwarting the Dark Empires this turn, depending on what he decides to play. And the thing that's really a very interesting note, 2 notes I want to make here. The first note is that this is the first time that Wang has had the option to awaken at 4 life. Every other game we've had today, he's awakened at 3, right? So he's actually
mm,
in a bit more of a better, slightly better position. 1 life difference can make the difference throughout the entire day. And the second point I want to make, it's also the first time going to his first awakened turn. He has not had the opportunity to
ooh,
swing with
that's
his leader.
huge.
Hasn't had the opportunity to swing with his leader and replenish the drop area. Thwarting does get carried immediately. I'm not going to be surprised if we just see it come back out immediately once he awakens. Yep, that's what he's going for here. Don't have
Mm,
to worry about any more counterplays for the turn. And I'm not going to be surprised if we see just another thwarting the Dark Empire coming out, swinging with the lead immediately. He's just
yep.
fixing up his life there. It does. And this is going to be very telling. Is there a
There he
dormant
goes.
potential coming out?
I'm
He's
also
thinking
interested to
about.
see where he is swinging as well. He could either swing into the unison and try and slow the game down even more, or he may just go, okay, I'm just trying to kill you before you can kill me, and continue going into later. So
Here's the
the
thing.
dormant does come out though, so there will only be one more attack for this turn afterwards. But we'll have to see where this attack is going into to see what Juan's game plan is right now. And it does
Into the
go into the
unison.
unison. I think that is correct. I don't think you want to give Wang any more cards. You can expect the dormant to be coming out. I don't think you're winning this turn, so you just want to limit the amount of cards that Wang has to hurt you the next turn.
And this, I do quite like this choice of playing this thwarting the Dark Empire. Probably going to swing
Yep.
again into the unison here, get rid of that pesky problem, and then I would assume getting rid of the Broly. Yep, sent to
Yep.
warp. He does have the
If he
option to discard
has,
two. If he's got
mm,
the 7 drop, that will be a fairly large problem. He's flicking through. Does not look like he's got it. Again, Wang has not had the opportunity this game to actually flick through a lot of his deck. And
mm,
oh, this is nasty here. He's got to send his cards to the warp, and he's got to start spamming those Black Smoke Dragons. And now this is a little bit awkward situation for Wang again.
mm,
The power of attacking the drop area is something you don't really see being too relevant in a lot of matchups. So it's coming in huge here. We did see, for you guys wondering, Black Smoke is not the only unison he does play. He did drop a Pycon in one of the previous games. We did definitely see that. He might have started out going to games 2 and 3 because this is Black Smoke Dragons putting in so much work every turn, essentially for free, right? If you keep on recycling these Kais and keep on recycling the unison, right? The same unison going between drop and the drop and warp back and then back to battle area. It's kind of just a loop that keeps it going as long as you keep on hitting this Kai, right? Get to draw a card and warp a battle card from your opponent's drop area, hitting those Rubrians, hitting the sparking 7 condition for the Broly leader. It's just insane. It's just nicely done, honestly. This unison showing why it's such a powerful option in this deck. You don't have to go pure aggression with the Pyke on this Black Smoke doing the works, and this is an
mm.
interesting tech. We've got a Goku here. Funny.
Interesting. So I also will see another unison coming out, or we will swing a swing with the freezer. Just
A
dropping
Rosie
down the
here.
Rosie. So on play, this gains triple attack and forces your opponent to discard 2 cards.
I think this is very Koitsukai. This is actually not
Oh,
an ideal situation for Wang because now if there is a Kai negate in hand, which is about, it looks like he's about to resolve it here. There it is.
yeah.
You just send the Kai to warp. This one negate stops 3 attacks, and here's the crazy part. I think this is the game. The reason why I think this is the game here, this thwarting will get cleared, yes, for sure, but Wang doesn't have the option to go sparking 7 this game. He has
He
only got
literally
3.
can't.
He literally can't go sparking 7 this game. He's just he's showing
just
another
showing
card
him
in
the
the sideboard. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he just scooped here, because the thing about this situation, right? He's got 3
Yeah.
cards in hand. He's tapped out. Doesn't have sparking 7, and it's going to be very uphill. Like I was going to say, he might potentially scoop here, showing off some of his sideboard here. I'm a world champion. It is funny to see that was his sideboard option, but yeah, he has just. It
Yeah.
looks
It looks like
that
he's
is
just
he
scooping
has
then,
just
yeah.
scooped. He has just
Yeah,
scooped.
he has 3
Yep.
cards in hand. He can't get to sparking 7 without coming away the battle card, but then he has no other way to swing. Yeah, I think not having a unison in hand, the fact that Rosie just got cleared immediately just meant that was game.
That is
Wow, what
that
an
was a bit
interesting way to end it.
anticlimactic.
Yeah, what an
A bit.
interesting way to end it. That was yeah.
That was very anticlimactic, and yeah, Juan is going to the grand finals. Juan, respect to Wang showing off some of his flex cards, but unfortunately in that situation he wasn't able to hit the Sparking 7. He wasn't able to like establish a board state, and the first person to enter the first final for the Dragon Ball Super Card Game World Championship is Juan. He played a fantastic game too. He
Oh,
played that
for sure.
to perfection. Every single thing that could have gone his way, he capitalized on it completely. Black Smoke Dragon, Broly needs 7 to drop, send to warp, send to warp, send to warp. You're not getting Sparking 7. The last turn where you had to combo everything in your hand to have a chance to play the game. I will play my Kai, and you are at 0 cards in hand to my 12. My infinite cards. And next
Insane.
time, Storm Kai, win the game.
Insane plays.
And
I think that Black Smoke Dragon, just him and One understanding that this is actually my win condition. Funnily enough, it's not really attacking with cards. It's me being able to disrupt his Sparking 7. And if I can make sure that he has no way to get Sparking 7, I just get a free dub. And as you see, game 3, he made sure he couldn't get Sparking 7 and he got the free dub. So congratulations to Juan.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome to see Gogeta Xeno in the finals. So
I think,
congratulations to him. And
I think
we will see Wang again in the 3rd and 4th place match. He will still be playing for that silver
Soul Striker, Silver Soul Striker.
Thank you. And yeah, so yeah, we still will get to see hopefully one more chance for a Monkey again, but it's going to be an exciting day tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. Like we got the rest of the games tomorrow, but yeah, I think huge respect to Wang though. He brought a deck that a lot of people weren't expecting, right? This Broly set 6 leader. It's a card that comes in and out of the meta every so often, right? Well, it's a powerful strategy, just the consistency to be able to, no matter what situation you're in, if you do have the Sparking 7, you get to draw 6 cards back to hand. It means you're never having a bad matchup against hand destruction. You can go aggressive with the Broly chain. And I think he showcased it extremely well, and he did deserve his spot, finishing as a top 4 participant in the world final. And historically, he has been a national champion for pretty much his entire career. He's won pretty much every big event in his own region, and he's just showing why it was a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, huge respect to him. Very funny choices of a couple of cards on the side, being I'm a world champion. We just flexed that at the end, and also flexed the commemorative photo. Very funny that he did do that. Very, very unfortunate way to get eliminated from Worlds, just kind of, being in a situation where you just kind of checkmated from turn 2, right? But back to Juan, right? He played that so well. Like, he didn't do anything wrong. He just, simply put, I've said this a couple of times, he was just better. To put it simply put, he was just better.
I think he just understood the matchup that next level and just could adjust his play to swing it into his favor, and it swung it pretty heavily from game 2 onwards. He just seemed to be in control. It didn't really look like Wang had much of a chance. We thought Wang may have a big turn 2, game 3, and then it was going to be a game that was going to go for a while. But yeah, the Rosie just being removed, him being tapped out, having no unison on board, couldn't even get Sparking. Like, even if he had Sparking, I still think he's in a very bad state because being tapped out, he has no counterplays, no negates. Like, I think, yeah, just unfortunate situation for Wayne, but huge props to Juan for just the adjustments and taking home the dub.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up fairly soon for today. Just a quick reminder to everyone, this is the only match for today. The games that will be on tomorrow will start from 9 a.m. PST time or 12 p.m. EST time. So stay tuned for that. The exciting games will continue. Hopefully we have more crazy exciting games. In tomorrow's games, we'll be having the match to see who will be Juan's opponent in the finals. That'll be very exciting to see between Icarus and Cell Surge. Very interesting matchup. Cell Surge, a little favored game 1, but we know Andrew Duval has infinite anti-hand destruction cards in the sideboard. And yeah, it'll be very exciting to see tomorrow who will be taking home the glory, who will be your first world champion in the Dragon Ball Super card game, right? It's a very exciting thing. Again, quick reminder what everyone is playing for. All these participants in the top 4 will be getting a top 4 playmat, which was the Goku UI artwork. Looks quite nice. Third place match will be for the Silver Soul Striker. Second place will be playing for a gold. Second place will be a Gold Soul Striker, and of course, what everyone really wants, that first place Awakened Power, that trophy, and of course the very rare rare opportunity, cool opportunity to actually collaborate with Bandai on a card they want in the Dragon Ball Super card game. Something that has never been done before, and it's honestly such a privilege to have that opportunity, right? Something you'd not think would be the case. So yeah, tomorrow's match we'll quickly run over here. Andrew Duvall versus Jeremy Ross. I'm just gonna say I don't want to butcher his last name, so Jeremy Ross. Again, we've got France versus USA. I know big thing for Andrew Duvall. He is. It's still safe to say that he is the favorite into this tournament. He was the player that everyone had their eyes on, saying, but he's from America, which is of course the biggest region for this card game, right? He has been consistently such a massive performer throughout his whole career in the Dragon Ball Super card game, right? He's always done well in any meta. He's always done well in like many events that he's participated in. Not winning everything, of course, but you always see his name top 8, top 4, top 1. You know, so he's obviously a force to be reckoned with. And I think Jeremy is like he's got a very impressive resume as well, right? He's won so many events in his home region, France, and you know, it'd be interesting to see if he's able to knock out the favorite of the whole tournament in the next semifinal game, Cell Surge versus Icarus. It'll be very exciting to see. Very yeah, it'll be honestly such a pleasure to watch. And yeah, it's just exciting things for if you're a Dragon Ball fan or a Dragon Ball Super card game fan. This is the time to be alive. This is the time you want to be watching. You know.
This is very hype.
And yeah, I think that's it for everyone. Thank you so much for watching. This will actually, I know for me, I believe it is my final cast of the event. So I want to say, hope you guys enjoyed my commentary. It means honestly, thank you for everyone again who's given me this opportunity. Thanks for you know, Android Stage Zero behind the scenes making our lives easier. Thanks to Tac Crystal organizing everything. Thanks to just all the staff, and thanks to just Bandai for making the Dragon Ball card game the amazing card game that it is. And honestly, I feel honored that I had the opportunity to be part of the first World Championship, and I hope the rest of the games are an absolute pleasure for you guys to watch at home.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to pretty much everyone just John mentioned, and John himself for giving me this opportunity to be his co-host and get this opportunity to be a part of Worlds. And I may or may not be back tomorrow, so we'll have to see. But if this is the last time you see me, thank you so much for everyone who's showed all the support, and thank you everyone who's watched these games and put all the messages in chat, and thank you to the players for just providing so much, making it so easy to cast because the games are just so good in general.
The games have been amazing. The games have been so good. Anyway, guys, that will wrap us up for today. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Best of luck for all the players tomorrow. Once again, reminder, 12 p.m. EST time, 9 a.m. PST time, and that will be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time. This is this is us signing out. Thank you for everyone again, and we'll see you all next time. See you guys. Goodbye.
Catches.
Bye.